Welcome to On Point with Cristina. I'm Cristina Palamek and I will be your host. This morning I'd like to welcome you to the Carver Center, which is in a very historical part of Jacksonville Beach, Florida. I'll be interviewing Ms.Latoya Thomas, who is the director of the center, and I must say the reason I'm here this morning is because I have been very impressed over the past year that I've been interacting. And I know where your contributions go, I know how food is distributed, and I know most of all that these people really do care about the children, about the community, and Jacksonville as a whole. Soon they'll be reaching out for contributions to help continue the center, to give to families who are in need, to supply educational materials. Sometimes grants don't go through on time. Sometimes when a grant does go through, you have enough, but you don't have enough. Sometimes you have to ask for just a little more support. So today, if you stick with me, we're going to find out some more about this historical community, the people in it, the people at the Carver Center, and what they're doing. Stay tuned to Life and keep learning. Be back with you in just a few minutes. We're going to go inside and talk to Ms. Thomas.
Yes, this is Sierra Hargrove.
Sierra.
Hi.
Thank you, Sierra. I appreciate that. I didn't have my crew today. What can I say? But I'm really excited. So the Carver Center, we're inside now, and we're going to give it a few minutes?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to take a little tour. And this is obviously your office. It's very nice. I love it. All these pictures, are these like kids and stuff that you...
They're my guy kids, and some of them are children that has actually went here at one point in time.
So they've come up through your tutelage.
Yes, yes.
Very, very cool. So I see they're bringing little graduation pictures and stuff.
They're going to kindergarten, so I'm so excited.
Wow.
Best time
to
of
give
the year.
them a job. Okay, so this room out here, obviously, you have a lot of chairs and tables in this room. And
this is our multi-purpose room.
Okay.
It acts as our homework space. It also acts as our food eating room. We have snacks for the kids. Our Christmas dinner is also played in here.
Oh, we have Christmas dinner?
Yes, we have a Christmas dinner every year.
Wow.
And we feed the families. We normally have an associate that comes in and they prepare the food for us, and we just come and fellowship. This is a fellowship time. And to celebrate Christmas, of course. Okay,
so this is interesting. Come over here. I want to talk about this for a minute. Can you just stay right there and just let me talk with her about this? Because it's important. What I'm doing is I'm trying to help you get some more funding to get the community and the world involved with this center. Because I've been with you, I was saying earlier in my introduction, for about a year. And I know her. This is not hearsay. I'm not a hearsay kind of girl. I want to know what you do, who you are, where your funding goes, and who it helps. Okay? So we've talked about this room. You've got enough chairs and tables. Do you need more chairs and tables for this room?
We definitely need more chairs, more tables. That would be a plus. Especially when we have events and functions, we don't have enough to sit everybody at a time, so now we have to rotate them. But the more the merrier. Okay, so if you have this, can we get a look at some of these tables with just regular, normal height tables here? So I'm 5'8", so I guess the normal adult or child consider this table. So if any of you have tables or chairs to donate, that would be helpful. You've got enough room here probably for about 3 or 4 more at least. Yes. Yeah, so you have cabinet space and all kinds of cool stuff. What else can you use to make this room a little more effective for the children or adults? Books, or what would you need? Well, we definitely always need books because literacy is very important here. But most importantly, what I'm trying to do is we're trying to develop something that we can get more computers, because this is a computer-generated community now, and that's the era that everyone's going into. But we do not have enough computers. We only have at least 5 in our computer lab. Let me show you. Okay, let's go look at the computer lab. This is our computer lab, and it's basically used every day. But we have to manage to just have enough kids in here at a time, and it's not enough. So you've only got 6 computers that I see. That's definitely not enough. That's not. So how much do you have room for? Maybe 2 or 3 more? We can get 2 or 3 more in here. We can also put some in the multi-purpose room as well, because there are ports for them. Okay, so we need more computers. Computer screens, computers, flat screens especially. That would make more room, obviously. And a few more chairs obviously are needed. I would love to do something with Apple. I know we were talking about Apple once before. I would love to maybe get like a contract with Apple and see if we can get Apple computers, just because Apple is more up to date
Absolutely.
than HP. HP is great, don't get me wrong, but Apple is more of the area that we're trying to go into. They just have the product, they produce the most software. They're just actually a very good product.
Okay.
I'd say so myself.
Awesome. Okay. So definitely more computers. And what else do we have? What else do we have going on?
We have restrooms over here. I'm going to show you into our kitchen area.
Okay. Now, what about kitchen utensils and things like that?
Yes,
Plates and
always.
cups and-
Plate, cup, plastic is better because it's easy for us to go away.
Okay. Plastic. We need plastic cups and plates.
Plastic cups and plates.
Oh wow, this is nice. It's
kitchen
huge.
area. Yes.
Very nice.
We actually use the kitchen during the summer for the summer lunch program that we host here. We also use it for, like I said, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Anytime we have events, we use this kitchen. We've also host a web series in the kitchen as well.
I can do
A
this.
cooking class has been done here. Cooking class has been done here. We've got chairs posted up right here.
Really?
And the instructor does the cooking lessons and teaching. And it was actually a healthy lesson. So about healthy eating and vegan foods.
So I didn't even know that you had that kind of thing going on. And this is a huge kitchen. It's
a
very
huge
nice.
space.
Very
and
nice.
people are able to do those type of activities here as well.
Awesome.
I'm going to take you on this side. This is our game room area / workout space / dance room, but this is mainly the whole concept was for our game room. But because we're on a healthy lifestyle living, we offer a healthy lifestyle.
Is there a light in here?
If they're on.
Oh, they're on. Okay, so it's kind of dark, but we see you.
Yes. Actually, this is a green building. So it's energy efficient. So until you walk in here, the lights will come on.
Very nice.
So they'll have to continue to grow as there's motion in here.
So we have a foosball machine here.
Pool table. We actually have some other games, but like I said, because we offer this room as a healthy lifestyle room, during the week, we offer line dancing classes on Monday. We have a Pilates class. We have a yoga class. Yoga is on Tuesdays. Pilates classes on Wednesdays. So we can't necessarily have all of the stuff out here.
So you have volunteers.
We do have volunteers.
Okay. So are we in need of more people who will volunteer their services?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
So this is imperative. People that will volunteer services like
for teaching, tutoring for homework. Also offering just their time to just come out and hang out with the kids, whether it's to play a sport with them, basketball, football, mentorship, just wanting to develop a one-on-one time with a young person who is in need of a great leader, especially males. That's a big thing for us, is male influence.
Let's walk. We're going to go back to the light and keep talking about it. Where do you want to take me now?
We can go back this way.
Okay. We want to get into the light so you can see us here.
We definitely need a male
I like the green
influence.
room. so male influence is imperative.
Yes.
Yeah.
The reason being is because most of the times in low economical situations, the male is not present. But they do have male sons, but they just don't know how to be a man.
Exactly.
So you need a male role model, a positive one, not just anybody that just wants to be a role model, but a male positive role model. Somebody that has also been through the struggle, whether it's the struggle of finances, being a single parent, raised in a single parent home, but just someone that can actually relate to some of the kids. I don't want somebody that's going to come in there and just be like, oh, I made lots of money and I'm this, that, and the third, because our kids cannot relate to that. They need somebody that's been on their level but see the success of them.
Okay.
So that's always important. Working with kids, they need to see a successor. They need to see somebody that's actually been where they are or have came through some type of trauma or issue, and now they have a way out. Like, this is what they're doing now. You know, instead of being a basketball player or a football player, that's what they see, but they need to see the other side of that.
To be encouraged to go beyond.
So they can know that there's life after this, you know, and not just staying in your situation and just wanting to stay.
And one of the important things I found, speaking with actually relatives of mine who are in basketball and all that, that when you're in a sport, you should have something to fall back on.
You definitely do. Whether it's college or even just, if college is not your thing, a trade of some sort. You know, I I mean, if we can find somebody who knows how to lay tile or know how to be a brick mason or just knowing a trade, that's a great thing because you can make a lot of money doing those things. People always need housework done.
Okay, so it doesn't take long to get into that. So we're going to take a walk outside?
Yes, come on.
Okay, let's go see what we have outside.
Area out here. We have a basketball court, as you can see.
Oh, nice.
We have a playground area.
Okay, so we have a big basketball court. This is very nice.
Yeah.
And it's all fenced so the balls don't roll out into the streets and the kids going to get run over.
This court was actually redone recently. And then we have our playground area, a pavilion, and then we have our football field and our kickball field.
That's a nice little area for the children. Let's get a good look at that. That's nicely set up. Very nice. There's a lot for them to do there. And you've got a little gazebo down there. Somebody's down there hanging out. And it's all covered. It has little tables where people can eat. So this is not a bad area. See, this is important. I really want to emphasize the fact with you that the area we're looking at now is very safe. I don't feel, I feel very safe here. I feel that there are people within this community, in this neighborhood, who really want to see something better blossom out of this. And we're going to talk about that history in a few minutes.
Yes.
So we have the football field over here, baseball field, whatever. So we have plenty of things for people to do. It's a very clean area.
We're on this new mission for 2016. It's called Project Save Our Playground. And basically what it is we're basically trying Project Save Our Playground is we're trying to redo our playground area. Even though it's nice, it could be better. As you can see, we don't have a water fountain out here, and it's some things that do need to be cleaned up. So we're trying as a community to come together and redo our park and make it a beautiful place, a safe haven, more playground space, more swing sets, just make it an overflow so people will be able to enjoy it and inviting, especially when we have our kids come out here and do football. They can have a place for their younger siblings to come out.
Right.
This area here, making this a waterfall.
Oh, nice.
A water fountain area, and then having a wall that is dedicated to people that have donated. So if your family has donated or contribute to something to be built out here, your name will go on a brick on the wall, and it'll be your dedication.
Excellent. Now, I see also, I think you might need some seating.
Yes, and definitely
over
seating.
Here in the...
We're actually working with a group now to come up with a great way to incorporate how it would look, and then do some fundraising.
Okay, and now here's the deal, because see, you know, I'm the entrepreneur. I'm always thinking business. And as soon as she said that, here's what I realized. You make a contribution to this, and your name and your advertisement will go on there. Okay, so consider that. Absolutely.
Definitely. And we're trying to pull funds from the community. I think that's most important, is trying to get the community involved and let them know, like, they'll feel a sense of ownership. That's my main thing. If you feel like you contribute to something that you know is going to do a better good, you can leave today and come back years later and still see your name.
And you're going to help take better care of it. Absolutely. And that filters down through the generations. Exactly. But this, when we speak of this at the Carver Center, we're not speaking of just this small area of community. We're speaking of the whole beaches and Jacksonville. And most people know that I'm pretty on point when I say something, and I mean this. If you're going to complain about what the young people are doing, then put something into it and make a way for them to have another avenue to do something more positive, to give back to your city as a whole. So here's a great opportunity. So what we're going to do is take a break, and we'll be right back, and we're going to sit down and talk to Ms. Thomas more about the historical aspects of this community, so that you and the world will be informed. Okay, Cristina Palamek with On Point with Cristina. Join us in a few minutes. Thank you. Okay, so here we are at the Carver Center. Welcome back, everybody. And I am like, I love this swing. I'm a swing. Don't let me start swinging, okay? Because that could turn into a real catastrophe. But at any rate, I'm so excited because I'm here with Ms.Latoya Thomas, director of the Carver Center. We've been looking around and checking out the grounds and telling you why you need to get involved and make contributions and become a mentor. Just put in whatever you can to help these kids get some direction and become a progressive, productive part of Jacksonville as a whole, not even just the beach. So, I am excited to know about the history here, because I understand not only from you, but other people, there's a lot of history.
It is.
What is this? What streets are we in between here?
We are in between, we're on 5th Avenue South and 4th Avenue in the corner of 6th and 7th Street.
Okay, so 4, 6, 7. So we're close to 3rd Street. What we're about, so we're like 4 blocks off 3rd Street? Or
Right.
6
Yeah,
blocks
it's
off
not
3rd.
that far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're back into this little community. Now I want to share this with you because I was very fortunate to grow up in a home where we weren't affluent, but I had the necessities, and we had, quote unquote, the big house. She grew up pretty much the same way. And this area, when people ride through, this is what I say about not judging people. When you ride through an area like this, first of all, the lawns are clean, the houses are clean, you don't see junk every place and people hanging out. It's not like that.
Right.
However, it is a low-income area. Am I correct?
Right. It's a low-income area within a neighborhood.
Okay, a neighborhood. And the people that I've seen seem to be involved with one another.
Right.
They speak to one another. I don't see any police cars running around with sirens going crazy. So, when it comes to stereotyping, just don't worry about so much about what you see. Find out about it first. And that's what I'm here doing today. I want to know what this is all about.
Okay, well, this neighborhood is called the historical Pebble Beach South neighborhood. Most people, quote unquote, call it the Hill. That is a stereotype that we are trying to get out of.
Okay, the Hill. What was the Hill?
The Hill was basically not even right in this neighborhood, but the Hill has a negative stereotype behind it. Back in the day, it was a lot of African American businesses out here on the beach, but it was also known to have a lot of drug activities as well. But we don't have those activities anymore.
Obviously.
In today's time, drugs is kind of like obsolete. In this neighborhood, it's pretty much different now. So the negative stereotype is going, oh my gosh, I'm riding through the Hill. We don't say that anymore.
Things will stick, won't they?
Right, they do. So we're trying to transition that, because this is not the Hill anymore. This is Jacksonville Beach. Okay, this is like the heart of a neighborhood. This is any great neighborhood. Yes, we do have some low-income housing, but we also have a neighborhood within the low-income housing. You have people that know each other that's been living here for 50 plus years, and you have some that just moved out here with new families that just want to live out here and be closer to the beach. And that's a sense of community to me. Everyone knows each other, everyone speaks to each other. You can walk down the street, you'll know somebody, you can knock on somebody's door and they'll remember you. It's a friendly neighborhood.
Okay, so what makes a neighborhood quote unquote low income?
Okay, we have public housing out here, and that's the low income part. The buildings that you see over here with the colored structure, that is Jacksonville Housing Authority. And then if you look around, you'll see like regular houses.
Like the little,
right.
The houses with the red brick.
Right, the red brick, those are income housing, those are low income housing. And then you have regular housing. So basically the housing neighborhood was put out here, but then you also have the neighborhood part.
Okay.
So we don't treat anyone differently.
Of course not.
Around here.
Of course not.
Just because they stay in low income housing does not mean they're no different than the next person.
You know what? And that is so imperative what you just said. I know that so many people look down, as if I should say, on people who live here, but when you meet people in the street nowadays or at a store, you don't know who they are.
Exactly.
You don't know what their situation is. And when my story comes out, I'm sure you'll get a clear clue of what I'm talking about. It's not that I was brought up looking down my nose at other people. I was brought up a little more affluently, but I was never taught that anyone was less than another person.
You're right.
We go through situations
Right.
that may, and any of you multimillionaires, you live paycheck to paycheck, and don't you forget it, because you can end up in a low-income neighborhood and have to fight your way back, or not. Or maybe you came from a low-income neighborhood, and you should not be ashamed of that, because it's what you do with what you have.
Exactly.
And you mentioned to me that there are some people here who have moved on.
Right.
So let's talk about a little bit about what they've done.
Well, normally people that stay in low-income, subsidized living situations are not meant to live in there for the rest of their life. And that's the stereotype that a lot of people do have. Like, oh my gosh, they're living in these houses and they're just staying there. No, it's a milestone. You know, we don't know what everyone goes through in life. Everyone has hardships. We all go through hardships. We all have hard times. It's just some people fall shorter than others. So they go into these places. They live in them for maybe like 5 years or so, or less than that. And then they try to get themselves back on their feet. You got to think, if you're a single mom and you have 4 kids, we don't know why she's a single mom and have 4 kids.
Right.
You know, we don't know if she was married before. I hope she was married before, but if she was married before and they got a divorce, okay, it's a
whole new world
it's
for
a
her.
whole new world. You know, you went from a 2-parent home, single, to a single person with 1 income now. And it's tough out here now. You know, to live in a really good apartment, you're spending what, $800-900 a month, sometimes more than that. So this way, it helps you to get back on your feet, to rebuild your credit, to just pretty much help. And then you can leave. Once you get yourself established where you need to, then you go on to the next phase into your life.
And you've had some people who have done that.
And we have lots of families that have done that.
Excellent.
A lot of the kids that we have around here now are new kids coming in. A lot of my old families that used to stay out here many years ago, they're no longer out here anymore. Why? Because they've moved on. I mean, and I'm so proud, because to me, that's what it's all about. And then you get to see the kids come back and say, oh my gosh, what you taught us a long time ago, you're so right. It's not easy out here, but we're making a way for ourselves, you know?
So, see, that says a lot. And this is one of the things that I love about Latoya. I've spent time with her. She does interact with the children, with the adults. And believe me, she tells them the truth. A lot of people don't want to hear the truth, you know?
Exactly.
So if you're, and let's just address this, because a lot of low-income families will be a single mother, for example, raising kids, and her mind is on having a boyfriend or somebody that's going to come into her life and help her with her children. Don't do it.
Right.
One thing people need to understand is, especially if you have a son, your son is your little man. That's the way he thinks of himself.
Right.
So when you go out and get yourself a boyfriend because you think you need one, your kids don't need one. Your kids need you to embrace them and hug them and love them and tell them how it is for you and what you're going through and how you're going to help them push forward and not ever have to go through this.
Right.
Because when another person, whether it's male or female, comes into your home, they replace someone. And they're not replacing according to the embracing that those children are used to. So you have to put yourself in your children's shoes. And I'm sure you can address that, because I'm sure you've had people who think, oh, it's all about me and what's going on with me, and I need a friend or whatever. But talk about that little bit.
We've seen it all over here, and let me just explain. We are a community center, so I get all walks of life, black, white, purple, green, yellow. I don't care. It's the sense of community that we're trying to build over here. So yeah, people come all the time to visit me, and they'll come and they'll talk. Sometimes just want to vent, and that goes for my kids too. Just want to vent and just want to talk about things that they're going through, because, you know, a lot of things I have never experienced, but just working here alone, you've experienced a lot. So we get a lot of mothers in here that need help, and they'll come to me and say, Latoya, I need help. And, you know, I'm like, what kind of help? You know, what are you needing help with? I'm knock on wood, I've never had anybody come in here and said they wanted to, you know, commit suicide, or they wanted to do end their lives, or anything like that. But it's mostly like they're a single mother, they're trying their best, but they need that extra male role model, or they need that female help to just address things that they may not understand that their children are going through, or just an extra set of eyes and ears for them.
Right.
You know, so we get a lot of that. And that's what we try to thrive on over here. It's like making sure we're those extra pair of eyes and ears. And yes, like you addressed before, I do tell like it is, because I don't sugarcoat anything for our kids. And that's what they need to hear.
That's what they need, absolutely.
Because I think sometimes we as an adults, we try to hide things from our young people and not expose them to things, which is a great thing. But then again, some things you need to expose them to. Some things they need to hear, because they're hearing it from the wrong people. And sometimes living in this neighborhood, or living in a neighborhood in general, you do get the negative things that come out of some of the kids' mouths, because they're hearing it from their friend, or a friend of a friend, or somebody's telling them things. So we as an adults need to be that other ear and the mouthpiece and be able to tell them, no, that's not what's going on. You know, I don't have a big teen pregnancy issue out here. That's a great thing. We don't have a lot of teens that get pregnant. The ones that have gotten pregnant, they're young adults, so they're not like they're a teenager. They're young adults now, so they're making their own choices. We don't have a lot of negative contents as far as like our kids being behavioral. I mean, they're kids, they may get out of hand, but when you tell them, hey, we don't put up with that, they understand. You know, they're very great about authority. They respect everyone. And then sometimes, you know, just give them a little nudge and say, I'm going to go tell Ms.Latoya. And they know. So
they know who you are.
They know who I am. And we all look out for each other.
And I love that. I've seen a few come back through.
Yes.
That, in fact, you have one, Johnny, who's working with you now, that she knew as a child. So there are a lot of them that come back and visit.
Yes.
And he's coming to work with you now.
Work with me.
That's awesome.
And that's always uplifting to me. Well, it makes me feel a little old too, but it's also uplifting to me too to see that, you know, whatever good that we instilled in them, they still want to come back.
They still want to come back and help.
And they help. I mean, we've had football camps because my young males have went off to college and came back and wanted to do something positive and just let everybody know what's going on with them and, you know, the giving back. We've had them just come. We just had our kids just come back and just want to just hang out with the kids and just spend time with me and just tell me about their new journey and their new era of their life, you know. And it's always great to be able to say, hey, I had some type of influence in that.
Absolutely. And
I don't want anything in return other than just, you know, for them to come back and just give their wisdom and their knowledge to the kids.
And know that they're okay.
And know that they're okay. You know, and it's nothing wrong with picking up the phone and seeing them now or talking to them on the phone or seeing them. It's just great. It makes me feel like, oh my gosh, I had a part in that. You know, I had a part with that child. I had a part in raising that child. And that's always a blessing for me.
And with that, can I just say, she said something very essential, that she had a part in that. We all need to take a part in it.
Yes.
Whether you are a business owner, whether you are, you know, and this show is not about asking you for anything, but I have to interject this because it's true. It takes, how do they always say, it takes a tribe to raise or a nation to raise a child or whatever. So it doesn't matter if you're black, white, or polka dot. These children are going to influence something in your life sooner or later. And once again, I will say this. If you're going to complain about it, and I'm putting that nicely, okay? If you're going to complain about it, you need to do something about it. Because complaining gets you no place. Put something into it. Come on out. We will give some information that you can get in touch with her. You want to come out and speak to the children. You want to make a donation or a contribution. Whatever it takes to help this new generation, especially this generation, become productive in our society. Everybody's sitting on TV politicking and talking about how bad everybody is and this kid's disrespecting and that one, but you need to do something. And yes, I'm pointing because, you know, pointing means I mean what I'm saying. I'm on point about this and I know it. Okay, so is there anything that you'd like to interject before you give some information to us?
No, I just want to thank you
summary?
for coming out and doing this. This really means a lot. I've been interviewed before, but never to this extent. So this is always wonderful.
Yeah, people need to know.
Yes, and that's really it. I just want to thank you for this opportunity, and for anybody that's interested in just coming by and just doing a walkthrough, just doing a tour, or just even wanting to know more about the Carver Center and what we have to offer, we are located in 777 5th Avenue South in Jacksonville Beach, Florida. My phone number here is 904-270-1614, and I'm Latoya Thomas. You can contact me anytime. I'm here Monday through Friday, 9 to 6.
Give that number one more time.
The number
slower,
is
so everybody write that down.
904-270-1614. Once again, I'll do it again.
Okay.
904-270-1614. We'll take anything. We take water, juices, you name it, we need it. We are our own cleaning crew, so even like the smallest things like cleaning supplies, we need those too. Paper, pencils, so anything. You know, nothing too big, nothing too small. All and everything.
So now, let me ask you one quick question before we take off here. I know you have some meetings every now and then with people who are contributing. Are they open to the public, or how does that work?
To come out to the meetings?
No, I know you say you have some people who are involved in trying to
Yes, that's
redo-
open to anybody who would like to do anything.
Okay. Do you have a calendar like online or something? How would they find out?
No, I don't have a
what's going
calendar
on?
online. What they need to do is basically, there is a website for us, but it's not for us as general. It's just for the parks
Oh, okay.
as a whole.
Okay.
But anytime that you want some information, you can email me.
Oh, good.
And
Email address.
Okay,
Yes.
my email address is Thomas, Thomas, Latoya, Latoya, one word, 78 at yahoo.com, and I'll be able to email you a calendar of events that we have going on, if there's anything going on for the next couple of months, or if not. If you just want to come by and just see, come on by. We're open.
Yes.
My door is always open.
Yes, and yeah, come and see, because that gives you more incentive.
Right.
To want to get out and do something. And the other thing is, I wanted to ask you about the Carver Center. Do you know where that name came from?
Yes,
And-
George Washington Carver.
Oh, really? Is that why it's called the Carver Center?
Yep.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, we're going to have more on this. I'm going to try to keep up with the goings on, and maybe come out and do some filming when they're having some events, and maybe when the mayor is visiting, and things like that, and just sit out here and just swing and just have a really good time. I've enjoyed this. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for coming.
All right. Stay tuned to life and keep learning. On Point with Cristina. We'll see you soon.
Bye.